All right, guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a rare pleasure to work with some of these creatures. And Fernando, thank you for the 20 years, man. That has been amazing. And please join me in welcoming tonight's guest, Andy Schefter. Welcome, Andy. Thank you for making it out here. Appreciate it. So, Andy, tell me a little bit about your role in the production community.
Production manager, line producer, ex-first AD.
Okay, when I first called you to appear on our show, you were working on a Dr. Pepper commercial, and there was something special about the location. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was the last time anybody was going to film in that location here in Miami.
Where were you guys?
A lot of people are probably familiar with it. Underneath the MacArthur Causeway. It's kind of an iconic image of Miami. A lot of people have seen the blue lights of the two bridges, sure. Downtown off to the side. The city and the state, the county, everybody, the federal government are financing a port tunnel, the tune of $1 billion. It's going to go in basically right where we were standing. They're going to take the semis that go to the port out of downtown and bring them right through that location. So though it's been something that's probably been featured in 100 music videos, maybe more,
all right,
that's it. It's gone.
And of those 100 music videos, how many were you the producer?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just 5 or
probably
something.
Just 5.
Just a couple.
How long have you been in production, would you say?
20 years.
20 years. And give me an idea of what your first production gig was like.
When I was in college, I interned on a movie of the week. I guess that would be my first real experience. It was Dead Before Dawn with Cheryl Ladd, as scary as that is. And I was just wrangling extras, way down in the 80 department, PA kind of thing.
Okay.
But then really outside of that, my first job professionally was after I got out of film school, I raised money and I wrote and directed and produced a feature. And that snowballed right in. So I kind of skipped all the climbing the ladder of PA-dom to coordinator to all that stuff and kind of started out as a director-producer, and it just kind of filtered into I'm a producer. I don't know how it happened exactly.
All right. So you're a producer. You've clearly been on the sets of a ton of productions. What is the funniest flub that you've witnessed? You know, a green PA trips over a cable and brings down a camera, something like this.
Oh God, I'm not sure who I should run over with this one.
We don't need any names.
Actually, probably one of them is my own. And one of the first films I ever did. I started in the low-budget world, where $250,000 to make a feature, which these days is a decent amount of money to make a little indie feature. But back then we were shooting film, and so $250,000 stretched a little bit, not as far as it does now. And I would always try to help get everybody out of there. Usually those deals they're not union, they're flat rate. Everybody's getting paid horribly. We work, ridiculously long, tough hours. So I was somebody who I'll carry anything. I'll pick up trash. I'll do whatever it takes to get us out the door at the end of the day. And I was carrying sandbags and I was stacking them somewhere wrong. The grips were very unhappy with me for helping. I thought I was helping, I was getting sandbagged. And they were literally yelling at me, pointing at me, just drop them right there. So I did. They went right through a flag. And it was like one of my first kind of okay, I'll just do what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, that's that kind of tripping over a cord flub, but it was me, I did it because I was trying to help.
We'll edit out all the parts where you say it to you, don't worry.
But everybody makes mistakes, and it even 20 years later, you've got to watch what you're doing, make sure you're not stepping on other people's toes,
sure.
And that's why you hire professionals.
We've got a question from Andy.
Sure, question coming in from the internet. Let's go to Debbie for the question, please.
Deborah Clem is letting you know that she's always loved working with you, and she'd like to know, have you always worked in Miami?
Essentially. My home base out of film school's been here, but I've shot in Los Angeles and New York and done movies in Canada, and a lot of the development stuff that I do for Social Capital is all over the world. We're at camera in South Africa right now. Yes, probably 70% of the physical production I have done has taken place in the state of Florida.
So on that same theme, Miami, best production city in America or best production city in the world?
Well, unfortunately, I tend to be bluntly honest in a lot of ways and things, and we're not the best production city in America or the world by a long shot.
Where do you like to work?
Well, I like to work here because
Sure.
I'm from here, but certainly Los Angeles is built for production, and you can get anything at any time, and you're not hunting for it. Where I ship lights in, I ship cameras in, there's all kinds of pieces of equipment that don't live here. I think Miami can be the best in the world if it wanted to be. It's why I'm still here. I stayed here with the belief that this city has the potential to be the Hollywood of the East Coast. I still believe that. There's still many, 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 many hurdles that we have to get over, and they're a little bit more complex or more costly than just a crew base and your general pieces of equipment. We need real sound stages. We need, now we have an adequate tax credit now, but we also need banking and insurance and bond companies. And more importantly, we need distribution companies and sales outlets.
Sure.
So
apart from your sort of boots on the ground roles in production, you have an academic role also.
Yeah, I'm an adjunct lecturer at the University of Miami. I teach a class on production management and line producing.
It's a graduate level course? What's
the
course number?
605, CMP 605. And I've been doing it for 4 years. I kind of got dragged into it by an AD who was leaving town who had been teaching it. And I think he came about teaching the same class, or teaching the class in the same way as somebody else was teaching it, and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And he kind of knew that I believe in imparting whatever knowledge I have to anybody else so that they can bring up the rear. And he knew I was interested in teaching, so he...
So are these like MFA students?
Yeah, exactly.
And let me ask you, just your opinion, are a lot of the sort of upper level producers and these kinds of folks coming out of MFA with experience like the lectures that you're delivering?
I guess I'm not sure of how to answer it. I mean, my class is somewhat unique at UM in the sense that I'm not necessarily an academic, that I am somebody who's in the field. So what I'm bringing to the class is something different than a teacher who's not out doing what I'm doing. Mine's a lot more, this is real world. It's a lot more of the boots on the ground. This is what you need to do to get it done. I'm not teaching theory. I'm teaching, here's the forms you need to fill out. Here's how to break down and schedule your movie. Here's the things you need to think about when you're coming into a location, and the physical and practical aspects of the logistics of making a motion picture.
With that in mind, allow me to remind our internet viewing audience and even our studio audience, ask us some questions. There's a lot of experience in this chair next to me that you're welcome to join us and benefit from.